guys. So let's talk about virtual assessment and more. And if you're watching this video on the day that it goes live, it's the end or right after what would have been the ACTFL conference in San Antonio. A lot of us would have been there. Some of us wouldn't have, but some of us would have. It was on my calendar as a maybe. And it when I thought about the fact that I wasn't going to go to virtual ACTFL this year, and I decided I wasn't going to go to that, I thought, what do I hate about conferences? There's some stuff that I love about conferences, but there's some stuff that I genuinely hate. And I bet there's some stuff on your what I hate about conferences list that's important. And even more important than what you hate is why. Why do you hate those things? So let me tell you about my list. And let me tell you about my thoughts about how to make those things better, too. So my what I hate list, I loved this picture, because I think I have had that expression on my face at more than one conference in my life. I hate spending all that money for what? I don't mind spending money on things, but I want to know that I'm getting a really good value for the money that I spent. And a lot of times if I go to a conference, I go to some sessions and I hear some good ideas and I come back from the conference and I've half forgotten the ideas and what did I actually get out of spending all of that money? Even if I presented something, and oftentimes I do, especially at Latin conferences, um, is anybody really going to take that idea and do something with it? Am I going to bring about any kind of meaningful change, or did I just spend a bunch of my money or somebody else's money to go hang out with some conference buddies? Another thing I hate about conferences is that whole sit and get feeling. Most presentations aren't very interactive. Most presentations are somebody reading off a PowerPoint. And sometimes the PowerPoint is full of words and they're reading every single word. Or worse, sometimes there is no PowerPoint and they're standing there looking at their paper and reading every word. And you're in the mode of sit and get, and you might get to ask a few questions, but you probably won't. Going along with that, another thing that I hate is the feeling of cognitive overload. By the end of the first or second full day, my brain is so full that it will hold no more. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And then I'm balancing my brain is too full and I have got to stay away from this session with, but I spent all this money, so I should go to every session. Does that sound familiar? So there's that feeling of obligation. I spent all this money to get here. I should go to every session. I should go to every exhibit in the exhibit hall. I should probably buy something. I should go meet up with this set of friends for lunch and this set of people for dinner. And before I know it, I've spent, 18 hours of a day and I'm exhausted. And then there's that post-conference reality crash. Some folks leave ACTFL and they're in no hurry because they have a full week's break for Thanksgiving, but I never had that. Where I taught physically for all those years, full day of school on Monday, full day of school on Tuesday, half day Wednesday. Sometimes Wednesday would be like a teacher planning day, but usually it was either a weather makeup day or it was scheduled as a short day or something. So 2.5 days of dealing with students who were hyped up and ready for a break. Not really a good time to implement that wonderful new idea that you had at the conference, right? So what else is on your list? And what would it look like if you could change that? If you could have the opposite of the things that you hate about conferences? But then there's the other hand. There's always the other hand, right? Because there's some things that we like about conferences. There's a reason why we keep going to them, right? You do get new energy from it. You are surrounded by a bunch of other people who care about the things that you care about. And sometimes if you're a language teacher, if you're the one of the few in your school, or you're the only one at your school, or people that I know that they're the only one in the district, it's a very lonely thing. And you have energy from being around people. You have a break from the routine because you're away and you're doing different stuff. You do make new friends, and that's really important. You get new ideas. You form this kind of temporary community around the friends and the ideas. And my favorite thing about conferences is what I call the stolen moments of collaboration. That's why I picked this picture. I think they're quote supposed to be in a session, but they're not, because what they're doing is they're having this great conversation about something that they learned. They're working on some idea. Some of you guys go to like unconferences and things, and some of you guys organize those, and those are better than regular conferences in a lot of ways. But you still don't really have enough time to collaborate, right? You still sometimes get some cognitive overload going on. What else is on your list, though, of the things that you love, the things that you'd like to have more of in your conference going experience whenever you get to go to a conference again? And then I thought to myself, what if we didn't have to leave? What if we didn't have to go to some conference center and sit like this guy is sitting, reading his book, thinking about whatever, waiting for his friends to show up? What if we could have the best features of that without ever leaving our home? What if even during this strange time of COVID, what if we could have those moments of collaboration, those new friends, that new energy, those exciting new ideas? And what if we could actually build something amazing? Well, you guys have seen stuff about the Let's Build a Thing Together Facebook group. And we're really making some progress over there. We are just about to announce something really, really amazing. But one of the things that we want to tell you about will be described in the description of this video. And if you're free over the next few days in the evenings Eastern Time, there's an opportunity for you to come join us and really make this thing start to happen. So it's exciting. I hope you're excited. I hope you're not completely overwhelmed at this difficult, difficult time of year. But even if you are, or if you're ready to start something new, remember this: it doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be that hard. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming, especially if you don't try to do it all alone. So we'll see you guys really soon. But until we see you, waleting Sodales.